Bad boy. Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. It is Thursday, May the 10th. No, it is May the 11th, actually. Yes, May the 11th. May 11th, 2023. My name is Pamela Pacheco, and I have the absolute honor, pleasure, and privilege of serving you as your host today. If you are just joining us for the first time, welcome home. If you are joining us again, welcome back. Thank you guys so much. I remember when I first started entrepreneurship, I was looking forward to these type of calls in the morning. And not only was I looking forward to these type of calls in the morning, I was looking forward to not only the information I was going to receive, but the inspiration. See, I've always understood that our subconscious mind is most opened in the morning and at night. So garbage in is garbage out. Greatness in is greatness out. And you have to put your armor on in every aspect of your life, right? In your faith, in your fitness, in your fortune, in your fun, but making sure you are filling up your cup, because you cannot give from an empty cup. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys, because there are some of you tuning in from Washington, some of you guys tuning in from all over. So welcome. Thank you guys so much for sharing what you are grateful for this morning. Shout out to each and every single queen, boss, mommy on the line. We appreciate everything you do. Happy early Mother's Day, blessings on blessings. And whether you have children or your own, or you are contributing to children in this world, regardless, you are appreciated. So congrats to each and every single one of you. Happy early Mommy's Day. I hope you guys have an incredible celebration. So we are going to talk today about last week. If you were on last week, type 01, we were talking about ways to cultivate persistence, right? We talked about setting clear goals, developing a positive mindset. We talked about ways to cultivate resilience. Making sure you're working on your mindset, right? Gratitude, all of these things. And if you did miss last week's call, it is on our Chosen Global YouTube page. While you're on there, subscribe and turn on your notifications, and you will get the recordings every time they're on. But today I want to talk about building a contact list. And I also want to talk about the leisure of a leader. And a lot of times when we hear the word leisure, a lot of us think it's just fun, right? And I will tell you that, yes, fun is so important, because when we talk about the 5 F's, we refer to our faith, our fitness, our family, our fortune, and our fun. And fun is equally important in our life. But however, sometimes we think that a waiting season is a wasted season. And a lot of times as a leader, you know, we always want to make sure that we are resting, because it is important. As we talked about last week, self-care is a must. You have to rejuvenate. You have to take care of you. You have to fill your cup, because you cannot run on E, right? You cannot run on E. You have to make sure that you are taking care of you. Rest is knowing that not everything that is doable is sustainable. And what that means is, if you are not taking care of yourself, if you are just running, it's not going to be sustainable. And this is a long game. This is a long-term game. Every time I sit with somebody that's getting started, I always talk to them and I said, listen, give me 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years, because I know that the first year you're going to start learning. The second year is when you're going to start not only making an income, but it starts replacing your income. But give me 2 to 5 years for you to have freedom, because I understand that this is a long-term game. But I also understand that fast is fun and slow sucks. Yes, that is true. However, you got to have fun, because there's a lot of people that are like, well, I'm not going. I want to just keep going. And that's awesome, because you know me, if you know, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. And there's always going to be a time and period, right, where you're just running, and you have so much momentum going on in your team, praise God, like a lot of us do right now, that you find yourself running from meeting to meeting. I will tell you, yesterday I had a secret social launch event for one of our new teammates, and it was in Riverview, Florida. And then I had another launch event 3 hours later in St. Pete, Florida. So if you know anything about Tampa, that is about an hour away from each other. And in the middle of rush hour traffic, it is no joke. I will tell you, that is not something I can do every day. I will not do it every day. Why? Because that is not sustainable. There's no fun in not giving yourself enough time or feeling like you have to run. Yes, I am running. However, one meeting just ran a little bit later than expected, right? But understanding that not just because it's going to be sustainable. Does it mean that it's going to be a best practice of mine? I give myself ample time between my meetings because it is good for you to reflect. It is good for you to say, okay, what could I improve on? It is good for you to expect the person getting started. I always give myself enough time for the person to get started because I always assume the sale, right? I always assume the blessing that they're receiving. I also give myself enough time to do a fast start with that person and do my best to get their easy one. So again, not everything that's doable is sustainable. We must rest, right? We must make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in every aspect of our lives because that matters. Can you think of a time and write it in the chat that you were like, man, I am making sure, Lisa said, thumbs down to rush hour traffic. I know. Listen, Lisa, I even set my meetings around it, right? I was just going in on my trainer, my personal trainer. I was like, he changed my time on Mondays to 7:45. And it was my fault because I was like, yeah, from 6:15 to 7:45 can't be that bad. Then I remembered rush hour traffic. And I told him, I was like, listen, it's not a good idea for me to come in here anymore at 7:45 because I'm going to come in here in a bad mood. And you don't want me to be in a bad mood. Trust me. I want to be in a happy mood because I'm coming in to get my workout. I'm coming in to release stress. I don't want to be stressed out while I'm coming here. That's just not, it's not good. It's not sustainable, right? It's not going to be conducive for this mutual beneficial relationship here. You have to be a pleasure. I got to be a pleasure to be around. I know. And if I'm stuck in traffic, it's not going to be good. But I digress. But yes, you have to know yourself. You have to know what you can do. And rest is important. However you get that rest, make sure that you are getting it, okay? And I know I went down the rabbit hole here. Michelle, don't laugh at me. But it is so, so true. Like, know yourself and make things that you can, again, that you can sustain. See, another thing is, like, I have one of our brand new teammates, shout out to Trey. He got thrown in the fire the other day, and he had no idea. And that basically means that, listen, if you see me do at least 20 presentations, 20 to 25 presentations, you're going to get thrown in the fire. And what does that mean? We build leaders here, right? Duplication is a must. However, I understand when people are ready, everybody has leadership qualities within them. And the more that you stay around the fire, you catch on fire. And I love that Trey, he is not only killing it in the leaderboard, but he is killing it in, duplication and in growing with his team. Shout out to Trey, I see you on the call. But it is important that you are working on yourself. And okay, you see that presentation. I'm like, cool, you're doing the first half. And the person that is on the receiving end and seeing it is like, has no idea that that's his first time. And then after I'm like giving him feedback and I was like, how'd you feel? He's like, good. He's like, I just, I felt like they knew it was my first time. I was like, no, they don't. I'm gonna set you free right now. They don't know. They have no idea. They have no idea. They have no idea. So it's absolutely incredible that you are, again, because I know that this is about sustainability and we're going to be growing and it's about dividing and conquer. So yes, first follow, lead, then teach others how to lead. Absolutely. So leaders build leaders. And I know that not everybody is going to get to the presentation right away. A lot of people are very, very shy. People fear public speaking more than they fear death. Did you know that? Isn't that crazy? Yes. And I know you guys hear me speak and you're like, man, She got it. She know what she's doing. Let me tell y'all, I have not always been a good speaker. I used to hate public speaking. I remember when I used to have to do it from when I was in grade school, high school, that my arms, my palms would start sweating. I would be a hot mess. But guess what? I just kept doing it over and over and over again, and I got better. But I also understand that as we're building a massive organization, it is about us saying, hey, sustainability matters. How can we duplicate faster? Because guess what? When his team sees him leading from the front, when his team sees him doing the entire presentation, owning his essence, owning his power, what you think they're going to want to do? The same exact thing. And leaders lead. So again, shout out to each and every single one of you that are out there leading. Number 2, improvement. If you're not growing, you're just dying. So if we talk about, the leisure of a leader, and it's like, our leisure time doesn't waste, it creates. So what are you doing to grow every single day? Are you listening to the calls that we have? Whether you were on that Team Synergy call on Tuesday, if you were not, please make sure you listen to Matt Morris. Type a 1 in the chat if you heard Matt Morris say something of value on Tuesday night's call. Exactly. Ones are blowing up. Make sure you guys are sending it to all panelists and attendees. Yes, I got such great feedback. I was like, man, and this is why it's so powerful that you have your teammates in the chats, that you are paying attention. Even if you got your notifications off, I get it, because you don't want your phones going off 50 million times while you're at work, but check it. My rule of thumb is check it 3 times. Check it in the morning, check it in the afternoon, check it in the nighttime. Because if something happened at night and you missed it in the morning, you'll get the recording, because we're very good at that. But I will tell you, your mindset is where your mind sits. If you are thinking that you want to get to the next level in your business, you want to get to the next level in your life, are you focused on growing? Because if you're not growing, you're just dying. And you heard Matt Morris say this, and it's like, God's gift to us is unlimited potential. What we do with it is our gift back to him, right? Is our gift back to the world. And every single day, what are you doing to work on things? Are you logging into these calls? Are you reading, right? You see us, if you are brand new, type a 1 in the chat. If you already read the book GoPro, if you already listened to the audio of Building Your Network Marketing Business, I have been posting that every single week on our chats, Building Your Network Marketing Business and GoPro, because these are things that I've probably listened to. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn over 1,000 times, over 1,000 times in the last 10 years, if not more, right? Different books, because we have to constantly keep growing. It's about Kaizen. It's constant, never ending improvement. And it's so interesting because yesterday when we were at this launch in St. Pete, we were talking to one of our prospects, and she has the name of a podcast. And as soon as we exchange social medias, I see the name of her podcast. It says Kaizen. And I said, oh, constant, never ending improvement. And she looked at me like I had 3 heads. And she's like, nobody's ever seen that. And Josh and I just looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we're big into personal development. And she's like, that's so crazy. Like, I've been looking for like-minded individuals. And I will tell you that again, if you are not growing, you're dying. You never know the conversations that are going to be sparked, the relationships that are going to be nurtured just because of the books you're reading, just because of what you're listening to. So making sure that we are in a constant improvement zone, making sure that we are in a constant mindset of growing is absolutely of the essence. Number 3, your passion. What you're passionate about is what you're called to. So how are you turning your passion into profit? Our great friend and mentor, Mr. J.A.O.N., told me this he got from somebody. And it was like, your gifts are generating income from your talents. And I was blown away with that. But I'm just like, yes. And guess what? If you're not around the right people, sometimes you're not even going to know what you're passionate about. Sometimes you're not even going to know what your talents are, what your gifts are. And this is why iron sharpens iron. And the more you stay around the fire is you catch on fire. So yes, what you're passionate about is what you're called to do. But are we in a constant zone of improvement? See, even if you don't have appointments or you don't have prospects that you have at the secret socials, at the travel parties, on the Zoom calls. Get on. A lot of people are like, Pam, how do you know how to close? How did you master these skill sets? Because I kept listening. I kept getting on the calls. I kept coming around. I kept coming to these travel parties. I would be up in the morning at 5 o'clock, had to be at work by 6:30, didn't leave work until 6:30 p.m., 7 p.m. And I would be rushing to the travel party, rushing to the event that we had right after work. And again, not everybody is going to move at that velocity, but I understood that these people knew something I didn't know. They knew something I had to get better at. There was something that I needed to learn. There was somewhere, somehow that I was going to get inspired, that I knew that I had to keep growing. If you are on this chat and you know that you have to keep growing, type a 1 in the chat. Right? Type of 1 if you know that, again, it's staying around the right people, because there's going to be people that they're going to bring out the best out of you. And there's things that you didn't even know you were good at, and you're around the right person and you're like, wow, I didn't even know that. And that is why it's such important to stay around the fire, stay around the campfire. Even if you don't have, there's like a rule of thumb. If you have, yes, Michelle, always room for growth and improvement. Absolutely. If you knew everything you need to know, you'll be already where you wanted to go. Absolutely. So it's important to stay around the fire. It's important to, even when you don't feel like you're on fire, staying around the fire will eventually allow you to catch on fire, because a spark eventually becomes a flame. So as we get into building a contact list today, and these are some things that, again, while you're in your leisure time, if you are done with your resting and you're like, listen, I want to keep growing and I want to know what is those things. And it's like building a contact list is something that can be valuable for various reasons. It's not only your network marketing business, it's you also building relationships in your community. You also adding value to others. So there's several ways that you can effectively build this contact list. But I'm going to tell you, and you guys heard me talking about it, and we did an entire call on why networking matters and the importance of networking. But one of the ways to build that contact list is by networking events, is by you attending networking events, because the reality is that at networking events, when you are attending these conferences, when you are attending these shows or these networking events, and it could be a sip and wine, it can be a sip and paint, it could be a networking event that is not even in your industry. The other day, the Valentines and a few of our teammates, Trey, Liz, we all went to a real estate networking event. And I paid for an ad at that real estate networking event. And I had like 5 minutes to pretty much talk about what I do. And a lot of people, and the guy that's putting these things together, he's like, oh, go ahead, introduce yourself. And I was just like, I have no fear when it comes to speaking. So I'm just like, Pamela Pacheco, I'm actually a business coach, serial entrepreneur. Whatever your vision is, I help it bring to fruition. Whether you want to grow a business, start a business, you want to grow your mindset, we're here to build community and help you live your best life. Make sure you contact me after, right? In 2 to 3 minutes, I was basically saying, this is what I do. But when I've got to that point, because it goes back to what we were talking about, I've been working on this for a very long time. You guys are seeing the glory of my networking events, but I've been doing this for a little bit, going on a year, if not more, because I understood that, again, if I want to be one of the movers and shakers in Tampa, I have to be seen. If I want to meet the next Crown Royale in our organization, if it was already in my organization, I would already be at that next level. But it's always about making sure you're sharpening your skills and growing your contact list. So look for different networking events. It could be a car show. Fellas, maybe you guys are like, I don't want to go to a wine. I get it. It could be something that's not even in your industry. You're going to meet other people that are hungry. You're going to meet other people that want more out of life, that people are living quiet lives of desperation. And if you're struggling with your contact list right now, and you're like, man, I don't know how to build this contact list. Number one place, networking events, network. Because whether it's a local meetup, a seminar, a trade show, a conference, it's relevant not only to your field, but it's going to allow you to engage in conversations. It's going to allow you to exchange business cards, but connect with professionals who share similar interests, who just want more out of life, that want to do better, that want to be better. And can we agree? We need some people to look better, do better, feel better. Yes, yes, yes. And the list of people we do not know is longer and bigger than the list of people we know. So cool deal. Yes, AON said Barber Expo. Absolutely. Number 2, online networking. So before you guys, right, online networking. And I'm not only talking about your current social media channels. Yes, those are important. We've talked about, making sure building your brand on social media. Do not, yes, promote your stuff, but don't make your page look like an infomercial. We talked about that, but utilizing other social media platforms like LinkedIn. When was the last time you went on LinkedIn? When was the last time that you went on industry-specific forums to connect with professionals in your field? It can be a retired nurses association. It can be a retired teachers association. It could be a work from home moms community. It can be a local church that has an online community. You just never know where you're going to meet the next person that's not only going to take your business to the next level, that is going to take your life to the next level. But I will tell you that if you want to participate in your own rescue, be intentional about building your contact list, making sure that you're actively participating in discussions or joining relevant groups with people that are professionals, with people that love to travel. There's so many groups that you can even join on Facebook. I joined so many Facebook groups. I joined a Latin businesswoman group. I joined the popping new socialites group in Tampa. I've joined the traveling group in Tampa. I've even joined the season traveling group in Tampa. I joined a self-care, like I could go on. I've probably joined over a dozen different groups on Facebook Marketplace and Facebook. Why? Because I understand that I got to keep building my contact list. I will never run out of people to share secret with, ever, ever. And to be honest, neither will you. And I believe even when we still have our phone, we never run out of people to reach out to. We just run out of people that we're comfortable talking to. By the time you are 21, you have over 1,000 people that know you by first name. But again, constant never-ending improvement, making sure that you're building that contact list. So online networking, utilizing your social media platforms strategically, but LinkedIn, Facebook groups, join relevant groups to reach out to people to expand your network. If you are getting some value from this, type of V in the chat. Professional associations. We just talked about that. Joining professional associations and organizations related to your industry. A lot of you guys are parents. There's a lot of associations for whether it's your children playing volleyball, whether your children are playing soccer. If you are joining a professional association, it can be a readers association. There's so many professional associations that are related into your industry. There's a lot of professional associations that are just looking to expand with like-minded individuals, but attend their events, attend their conferences. They have webinars, they have different online meetings, they have in-person meetings, they have different connect groups that allow you to meet and connect with like-minded professionals in your industry. I will tell you, one of the greatest ways to build your contact list is referrals. Who are your old customers? Who are, and I'm going to say old, but who are your former customers? Who are your existing customer base? Who are people that they're your friends and you've already showed them secret, or they're your business colleagues and you already showed them secret and they're like, man, it wasn't for me. Cool. Like Matt Moore said, you don't insult them. Be like, what didn't interest you? Traveling more, making more money? Don't insult them. But the highest compliment you could give me is to refer your family and friends. Leverage your existing network and ask them for referrals. Inform your friends, your colleagues, your business partners about what your objectives are. What's that vision? That's why it's one of my favorite ways to invite. When I tell people, listen, I got a vision for my future. And it could be for you, it cannot be for you. That's cool. I just want to share with you what the vision for my future. See, you don't got to do what I do. You just got to know what I do and where I'm going with this. So when you see this next wave, when you see tens of thousands of people joining Tampa, and you're like, man, she told me she was going to do that. I just didn't think she was. Okay. So it's making sure, but asking for referrals. Let people know about what your objectives are, to let them know what you're doing in the community, what you're doing with your life, where you are going, but request intros and ask and you shall receive. Okay, request introductions to individuals who may be relevant to your goals, because you never know. Like, I love asking people, who do you know that's big on self-care? Who do you know that owns a gym? I want to know all of the gym owners in Tampa. I want to know all of the gym owners in San Pete. I want to know all of the spas. I want to know every esthetician. I want to know every person. I want to know every organization that wants to do mission trips. Why? Because we got something for everybody. So referrals, leverage that existing network. Number 5, email sign up. So this is a little bit more advanced. And if you want more help with this, right, I'm going to drop my Calendly link in the chat for you really quick. But email signups, and what that basically means is saying, hey, do you have a way that when people are joining your page, do you have a landing page, right? Do you have an opt-in form on your website or a blog where visitors can provide their contact information to receive updates or newsletters or valuable resources from you? So these are different ways that, again, you're capturing information, because you got one time and people are online all the time. People are going around all of the time. So making sure that you have just a way to capture that information. And that's not the only way. I'm just giving you guys different ways to build this contact list. Number 6, content marketing. So if we talked about this all the time, producing high quality content. Now, this does not have to only be videos. This does not only have to be short form videos. It can be you doing and this is content marketing, but it's also communication marketing, right? What blog posts are you writing? A blog post, right? Do you have an ebook? Do you have a video? Do you have a way that you're catering to your target audience? So offering these resources in exchange for contact information, it's going to allow you to build your contact list while providing value. One of the reasons that you see that, again, it's my rule of thumb. And if you have not registered for the Builders Bootcamp that is taking place, the Builders Blueprint Bootcamp that is taking place May 20th, make sure you are registered. We are halfway through the registration for that. And the fact that this is free, I'm telling you right now, so many people's lives are going to be blessed. But the fact that it is free, do not take it for granted. Do not take it for granted. We have a complete lineup of rock stars, and I'm going to get deeper into social media marketing, and I'm going to get deeper into building your brand as a networker, as a professional, but doing it tastefully, but making sure that you're adding value to the world. If you are just posting your products, posting your services, what are you offering? How are you adding value? Why would I buy from you and not buy from the next person? You got to add value to people's lives. And the more value that you add, the more high quality content that you are creating, it's going to allow you to exchange this for contact info, because you guys will be surprised of the referrals that I've been getting and the doors that God has been opening, praise God, just because of the content that I'm producing, but also the relationships that I'm building in the marketplace, but the value that I'm adding into people's lives. It's free game that I'm giving, right? So make sure that you're adding value to people's lives. Somebody said where to sign up for the training. Delisa, if you're on here, Delisa is also going to be one of the speakers. I'm excited to hear her train. She's one of my favorite trainers. Delisa, if you could please put the link on the chat for people to register. Thank you. Appreciate you. So number 7, are you attending different webinars and workshops? So there are tons of educational webinars and workshops on topics of interest to your target audience. And you could also host these yourself. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go host 30 of them every single day of the month. No. However, if you are hosting one, it can be locally in It could be locally in your community. It could be something that you are hosting. Like, I'll give you an example. I just went into my leasing office the day before yesterday. So they host things all the time and they post it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. They have different workshops. Well, I said, listen, I want to talk about health and wellness, and I want to talk about self-care. I want to talk about self-care. And I want to talk about not only how self-care matters when what you're putting on your face, but what you're putting in your body and how you experience the world. So obviously I'm tying it into secrets. She's like, okay, well, write the entire pitch and we'll submit it to corporate. Cool. I did that. And I submitted it. Is it going to be in anything? I don't know. But if it does, wouldn't that be cool that I just got something to my entire community? I mean, I paid $2,000 for rent. I damn sure better be getting my money's worth about where I live. And so should you. So should you in your community. So should you. Closed mouths do not get fed. So if you want something, I'm gonna tell you right now, fortune favors the bold. You better go ask for it. You guys have a lot of rec centers, recreation centers in your neighborhood. Your children go to some of the best schools. Are you asking, or are you asking to be of value to your community, to your sports teams? What protein are these kids taking? Because nutrition is a big, big reason. Exactly, Lisa. You have not because you ask not. So it's important that you are asking in your local community, in your rec centers, in your libraries, in the places that you live. Listen, I would love to host a webinar. I would love to host a workshop. And you'll be surprised, even if it's you just saying, adding value to people as a mom. How do you balance? How do you balance work and building? How do you balance? Like, you'll be surprised how many different ways you can connect with your community just because you're adding value, just because you're around like-minded. And maybe you're like, you know what, Pam, I'm not ready to host a workshop or host a webinar. Cool, don't, but go attend one and build your contact list, because I promise you the next person that is going to take you to the next level, take your business to the next level, is not in your organization yet. Because if that person was in your organization, you already be at the next level. I heard that one time and it always kept me in phase one. That's why it's like, no matter how much my team is growing, no matter how much they're having success, yes, I'm all about it. I'm a team player. I want to see them win, but I'm always in phase one. I'm always seeing who I can get in next, who I can get in next, who I can go ahead and not only continue to recruit, but who I can help, because you got to stay in that phase one. Number 8, collaborations. So seek opportunities for collaboration with other professionals and businesses in your industry. It could be in your job. It could be in your retired association. It can be in different people around you, but see ways that you can collaborate with people in the community. Because I will tell you, because I said, hey, how can I collab with you on women empowerment? Every time this woman has a woman empowerment event, she asked me. This last Sunday, they had a VIP. And again, one door opens the other, right? So they had a VIP shopping experience at Dillard's. So if you know your girl, you know I love to shop, right? But it was a VIP shopping experience at Dillard's in Wiregrass Mall, which is one of the most affluent malls here in Tampa, okay? And it was a pre-Mother's Day shopping experience. And it was about empowerment and encouragement and shopping. 3 of my favorite things in the whole wide world. And I will tell y'all, and again, I'm being very honest with y'all, I almost said no, because Mother's Day, it triggers, it's not the easiest time of the month for me. It's not the easiest time of the year after my mom transitioned to heaven, but I've been very intentional in saying, God, everything comes to promote me. And I know you're using my pain for purpose every single day. And every day I choose to live a life of prosperity. So I choose to live purpose driven. And I know that you continue to utilize me, my mess, for a message, and all of these tests are for your testimony. So continue to use me, God, and lead me and order my steps. And there was something in me that as soon as she invited me, I was going to say no. And it was like my mouth. Have you ever wanted to say something and then God just put a muzzle on you? I got tongue twisted. I had nothing to say. And it was like, God was just like, girl, you better, I got you. Yes, you're going to do it. And I was like, yes, I'll do it. But it was something that I felt. Long story short, I talked about confidence. I used an acronym. You guys know, your girl loves acronyms, for CROWN, and the women loved it. When I tell you, it was probably 50 women in that room. And the cool part about this too was that we got gift bags. So I had so many different masks, sheet masks. So I did little gift bags. And not only did I put the sheet mask, but I also did a 2-sided postcard. And on this postcard, in one side of the postcard, I had look better, feel better, experience the world. Shout out to Max Laura for the Canva template on that. And then I added my QR code for my secret website on one side. And on the other side, I had, hey, do you want to grow a business? Do you want to be around community? Do you want to travel luxuriously, wholesale instead of retail? Do you want self-care? Let's connect. Pam the plug, follow me here. Another QR code with my information, right? And out of those probably 50 plus women in the room, I had more than half of the room come up to me and was like, man, I absolutely loved your story. I absolutely love your talk. You blessed me. And then another opportunity arose. So one of the girls that has been with Dillard's for 20 plus years, she's like, we need you back here. We have women events all of the time. She's like, my name on Instagram is Lunchbox Mafia, and I make lunch boxes. And I'm also one of the news writers for Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine, and more moms need to empower. So one collab is leading to more, right? I also sponsored a gift basket full of secret products. So again, it's integrating everything that I do, everything that I want to be known for, but I'm seizing these collaborations. I'm seizing this opportunity within the lifetime of the opportunity. See, I understand that if I did not collab with somebody, I wouldn't have got it through that door. And there's plenty more where that's coming from. And I know it with every fiber in my being. Like, trust when I tell you, this is only not even scratching the surface of what's about to take place. So be intentional about it, because yes, collaborations leads to relationships. The only difference between a contact and a contract is the R. That R is relationship. So make sure you're doing that. Last but certainly not least, check your phone book, right? Check your phone book, check your Facebook, check your Instagram, checking all of these different resources, people that you've messaged, people that from years ago you haven't reached out to, and just reach out to them. Nothing works like work in any area of life. Think about when you first just got your dream job. You had to learn all of these things. You also had to unlearn things from the past. But you had to take that first step forward. And yes, you have to create your own opportunities. But fortune favors the bold, making sure that you are seizing each and every opportunity for you to grow, not only grow your business, grow your life, grow your mindset, grow your faith, growing your fitness, growing your family, growing your fortune, growing your fun, because all of these things matter. Remember, building a contact list, it's not just about the quantity, but it's also about the quality. Focus on cultivating meaningful connections, meaningful relationships, nurture these relationships, and provide value to the people in your network. This has been your Breakfast Club call for Thursday, May 11th, 2023. Breakfast has been served. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. We are going to make sure this is up for you guys in the next 24 to 48 hours. As always, appreciate you guys. Great day and God bless. Keep killing it. And if you guys got value from this, drop it in the chat. Appreciate you guys. I read each and every single one of your comments. And I'm, as always, super grateful for you guys. Thank you guys so much. Great day. God bless.